I met Grace when I was 25. She was the kind of woman who could make an entire room quiet just by walking in. We dated for 2 years before getting married, and in that time, I thought I knew everything about her. She was smart, warm, and fiercely independent. My friends used to joke that I married up, and honestly, I agreed with them. We built a life together, a modest house, careers we were proud of, and eventually, a little boy named Daniel. The day he was born was the happiest of my life. I remember holding him in the hospital room, his tiny hands gripping my finger, and thinking, this is it. This is what I've been working for. For the first few years, life felt almost perfect. Grace worked part-time as a marketing consultant, and I ran my own small but growing logistics company. But somewhere between Daniel's 3rd and 4th birthday, I began to notice changes. Grace became distant. She spent more nights working late. Her phone was always locked, and she started guarding it like it contained nuclear codes. I told myself she was just stressed from work, but there's a point where your gut stops whispering and starts screaming. One Friday night, she said she had a client meeting at a hotel conference center across town. I believed her, or at least pretended to. An hour after she left, I decided to drive there, just to surprise her and maybe grab dinner together afterward. I didn't make it past the hotel lobby. Grace wasn't in any meeting room. She was in the lounge, sitting far too close to a man I'd never seen before, their heads almost touching as they laughed. Then she placed her hand on his thigh. My chest went cold. I didn't confront her there. I just walked out, drove home, and sat in my car for half an hour trying to figure out what the hell to do. That night, she came home smelling of perfume that wasn't hers. I asked how the meeting went. She smiled and said, productive. For the next 2 weeks, I acted like nothing had happened. I needed proof, undeniable, inescapable proof. I installed a small tracker in her car, one she'd never notice. I didn't want to believe she was cheating, but every ping from that tracker made it harder to deny. There were late-night trips to places she had no reason to be, long stops at the same apartment building. Then came the night that shattered me. She told me she was going to her sister's for the evening. I waited 15 minutes, checked the tracker, and saw her car parked outside that same apartment again. This time, I drove there. I waited in the shadows until I saw her come out, hand in hand with that man, laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. When she saw me standing there, her smile died instantly. She let go of his hand and froze. Get in the car, I said. We didn't speak on the drive home. When we got inside, I asked her directly, how long has it been going on? At first, she denied it. Then, when I mentioned the tracker, she broke down. 3 years, she said. 3 damn years. She met him through a client, and it just happened. She tried to justify it, saying I'd been too focused on work, that she felt lonely. I might have been able to forgive her, maybe, if it ended there. But then she said something that made my stomach drop. There's something else you need to know, she whispered. Daniel, there's a chance he's not yours. My ears rang. I thought I'd misheard. She went on to explain that during the early months of her affair, she and this man had been seeing each other frequently. When she found out she was pregnant, she assumed it was mine, but she never got a paternity test. I don't remember much after that. My mind just shut down. The next day, while she was at work, I swabbed Daniel's cheek and sent the sample for a DNA test along with my own. Waiting for the results was like walking around with a loaded gun in my chest. When the email came, I opened it alone in my office. The words felt like they were burning themselves into my brain. Probability of paternity, 0%. Daniel wasn't mine. I sat there for hours, staring at the report. He was innocent in all of this, just a little boy who loved me, who called me dad. But every time I looked at him now, all I could see was betrayal. That night, I packed a bag and left. I didn't shout, didn't slam doors. Grace begged me to stay, to work things out. But there was nothing left to work out. She'd not only destroyed our marriage, she'd taken from me the one thing I thought was uncheckable, the bond between a father and his child. The divorce was messy. She tried to fight for the house, for custody, for everything she could. I didn't contest most of it. I just wanted out. I agreed to pay support for Daniel, even though I wasn't legally obligated, because it wasn't his fault. It's been 2 years now. I've moved to another city, started fresh. I see Daniel sometimes, birthdays, holidays. He still runs to me when he sees me, still calls me dad, and I still love him. Though it's a love tinged with something I can't fully explain. But when people talk about trust, about building a life with someone, I don't think they understand how fragile it really is. One lie can make you doubt everything. And once that doubt settles in, nothing is ever the same again.